pleasure and an honor to be here with you. It's my first visit to Venice in Florida. I've been to Venice in Italy, but not Florida. And since I intend to impress upon you words of great wisdom, first I will try to impress upon you how important I used to be, and then you'll pay more attention. So, I brought a few snapshots of myself, and I'll test your general knowledge.
Sean Connery.
Very educated. Do you know why he's still alive? Yes. Just so I could use him today for this. He doesn't know it, but think about it. Film stars have a very short lifespan. You show a picture of Elizabeth Taylor to some teenagers, they won't recognize her, but Sean Connery's been playing around. I mean, hanging around. And then his successor as James Bond was Roger for the same. Hey, this is what it is. And I seem to have a knack for detectives. Oh well. I can't find him. Anyway, so this one on the right is the one on the right is Sophia. Okay, ladies, this is something that I learned. Now we can learn something from everyone. She walked into the studio, she was the big star, I was the producer, but she was the diva. And immediately as the photographer pointed his camera at us, look what she did. And look what I did. So, the next time you're at a wedding, or a bar mitzvah, or any graduation, what are you going to do? All right. That's good. On a more serious note, this took place in Camp David. We just went through 40 years of the unification of Jerusalem, and this is Begin, Menachem Begin, Prime Minister of Israel. Now, who remembers who was his hostess, or the mostess, in Camp David? Rosalind Carter, Mrs. Peanuts. Remember? All right. And this is Rabbi, for the next pictures, please, we don't want to do it. Fonzie? Henry Winkler. Henry Winkler? But he's a Jewish guy.
Yeah. He is. You're allowed.
And like this. All right, so that's right, Cassius Clay alias Muhammad Ali. Anyway, so basically I was born in Bulgaria, and I came to Israel, and from the land of milk and honey I decided to come to the land of gold and money and seek my fortune. So I came to America, and I landed a job as a producer at NBC TV. I had previous experience in Israel, but this was the new local 2-hour broadcast where we stole Tom Snyder from Los Angeles, and with Jim Hart, we started a 2-hour local broadcast, which had a lot of time to fill. And one of the fillers was a segment called 5 Minutes With, and I was the producer of 5 Minutes With. 5 Minutes With meant that anybody was plugging anything, a book, a play, a symphony, prime ministers, kings, wanted to get their product, merchandise. So at the time, there was only the Today Show and my show. There was no Oprah, no Jerry Springer, no Lakey Bakey, no Donna Huey, nothing. So you can imagine what it was like to run this show. And I'm off the boat from Israel, country that doesn't even have TV. I come in here and I land this job, and I decide who will live and who will die on NBC TV. So it was pretty impressive, even for in retrospect. So I want to share with you one or two of my boo-boos. Okay, I wrote it down, didn't want to waste time. One day I got a call, and they said, "Do you want to have Willie Mays on?" And I said, "Willie who?" And they said, "Can I talk to the producer?" They said, "I am the producer, and if he's important, we will have him on. So I will call you back." So I hang up and I go to my boss. And my boss is on the phone. So I write, do we want to have, oh no. And he goes, and I said, gotcha. Thought he was going to get me because I'm a foreigner, right? And as he hangs up the phone and verbalizes it, he says, Willie Mays, of course we want Willie Mays Dodo. So that was one of those things. Then somebody, we were doing a show on pneumoconiosis, which is black lung because of some mine collapse in West Virginia. And I was looking for an expert, and they said, why don't you call Mr. Sheldon from the AFL-CIO? And I said, how do you spell that? And they said, S-H-E-L-D-O-N. No, I said, the AFL-CIO. The AFL-CIO. I said, yeah, how do you spell that? So, you get the picture? Now, I'm really having the most wonderful time of my life. Just living this world of, I had to go to every Broadway play that opened, and every gala. It was so difficult, so trying. But at the same time, something is starting to gnaw at me. What's it all about? Is this the meaning of life? I remember seeing Americans when I was in Israel. They would take out an American Express card. And the waitress, and I said, oh my God, when I grew up, I want an American Express card. I got a gold American Express card. But here was this attainment of what I thought was the American dream. And something inside me is saying, is this what it's all about? What's it all about? Oh. So I am having this in my mind. But two incidents propel me in the direction that I am about to take. Okay, incident number one. I get the first interview with John Travolta after Saturday Night Fever. My heart is going, oh my gosh, John Travolta. He walks into the studio with an entourage of press agents, secretaries. And I had written an intro, an introduction that the anchorman reads before they introduce the segment. And in it I said that even though John Travolta was a phenomenal dancer, not all the critics were unanimous in their appraisal of his acting abilities. So when I turned around, his agent, Bob Lamont, looks at my notes and says, if you intend to say this on the air, we're out of here. I said, how dare you read my note? He says, well, I did. It's our first interview in New York. You change it, or we're not going on. I said, the door is open. You may leave. So I kicked John Travolta from the studio. But the honest truth is that they left, and it was all over the papers. Liz Smith wrote about it, and they had a whole discussion. But as they were filing out, I looked at John Travolta and I said, don't you have something to say on the subject? And this is what he did. And my bubble was burst. Because here is this mega star, one of those that we look up in the big screen, wondering, what do they think about love? What do they think about marriage?